I was coming up here. So we are in East Village right now, or the Lower East Side, heading over to Devon's place. We're sort of clearing her spot out, but East Village is so cool. It really embodies sort of the whole vibe of New York City, I think. So much stuff has gone on here. There's still a lot of the culture here for sure. And actually on this specific street, so over there where was Jean-Michel Basquiat's studio was that Andy Warhol rented to him. But right behind us, over there is also the Hells Angels headquarters. It used to be. They sold the building, I don't know, 2 years ago for $8 million. I would have done anything to see the inside of that clubhouse. That would have been cool. But funny thing is, we actually rented some of the apartments after they had converted it into rentals. So after they've done like a full gut renovation of their clubhouse. And I was talking to some of the neighbors when I was out on the street, and they're like, can we go and see? And they were basically like, they were very curious about what had been like done to the spot. But what was crazy to me to find out, well, not crazy, just like surprising, is that they all loved them. They were like, yeah, they've been here for, I don't know how many, it was like 40 years. And throughout their time, they've really like protected us, and they kept this area good. And it was like they kept our parking spots on the street and shit like that, which I thought was really cool. But I think I am lost. Currently, we don't do that much business here on the Lower East Side, but there's a lot more rentals going on. It's not really, there are some like new developments here, but they're mostly out by the water. There is 152 South Street, which is like a full-on new development made by Related, great development company. But most of the East Side is a younger crowd. It's more lively, gets a little rowdy at night. So I don't think it's for the faint of heart. I don't think faint of heart is the right thing to say either. It is, like it's a mixture of people for sure. But it's like your skater sort of artist crowd still. I almost want to say this is the equivalent to like the old Soho nowadays. And they're really trying. There's one sort of notorious landlord here, Steve Cohen. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying this. He actually went to prison, but he came out. He went to rich people prison. And basically what he does is he goes into all of these buildings and he buys them. And when there's something rent controlled in there, they usually don't want them because that means they can't raise the rents. But what they do is they'll go in there and they'll do a bunch of construction and basically make it impossible for someone to live in there and make them move out. They'll offer them a large sum of money, and if they don't take it, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna go to fucking work. And basically just start renovating the whole building, tearing it down, making it impossible for you to live there, and then you move. And then he kind of found a loophole because now none of the old tenants are in there, and he can charge up the rents. And it's usually very, very, very low quality renovations that he does. So I think there's even like a whole Facebook group and Google chat about this guy, how bad of a landlord he is. Alright, so now I'm running because I guess some creepy dude was bugging Devin. So I'm on my way. We'll say I think New York City is a relatively safe spot, but are there creepy people? Yes, sir. There always is, though I don't think you can avoid those. It'd be great if you could. Fuck, I need to hit cardio more. Sorry. What's up, baby? Hi. Where's the creepy guy?
I don't know.
Where'd he go?
Where do you smell it, guys?
The elevator is broken?
Yep.
Alright. What floor are you on?
6.
Did you get like a kickback on rent for that?
You think? This poor guy's gonna come in and show them this
I'm not. Just a little bit. See, Devin, my girlfriend here, has fully moved in with me, but we still have her apartment. So this is kind of how most of the buildings in East Village, Lower East Side, they all sort of look like this. Not that that's a bad thing. Baby, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Look. It's glistening.
Huh?
Cool thing about East Village, Lower East Side is, though, like, you're so submerged. I wish I could show you guys the view here, but
Okay, can we turn off the light?
you're so submerged. Oh, what?
I thought you could see.
You're so submerged in like the neighborhood and the city. You really you get the feeling of the city here for sure. So if you're young, it makes me sound old, but if you're young and willing to explore, then this is the spot. Like you'll experience New York City at its fullest for sure. First started dating, this was in her apartment and it freaked me out. It lights up. Okay, cool. It's not plugged in, but it's free. So we were getting all of her last things and making space for the new tenant. But we're gonna go grab some food and show you a little bit more of the Lower East Side, East Village. You can't reach, baby? So baby, as someone who's lived, well, granted she moved in with me basically as soon as she moved into this apartment, but as someone who's lived in this area and who is not a New York native, not that I am either, but I would like to think so. What was your first impression of moving to the Lower East Side?
Terrified.
Terrified? Baby, this is supposed to be inspiring.
Okay, no, but I will inspire you because you go into these buildings and they're not really up to par. And then you get in your apartment and you make it your own. And then where the magic happens is when you explore your neighborhood. You realize how close you are to everything. There's cool restaurants down here, there's cool people, my building has interesting people. So it makes up for the outside.
Yeah, I think that's the whole, I wouldn't even say catch, but that's the appeal of the Lower East Side is you're experiencing the neighborhood, you're experiencing New York City, just look around you. It's like, this is sort of the part that never sleeps, and there's a bunch of culture. You have everything, walking distance, Soho, Tribeca's a bit further, but you can even walk over to Williamsburg. You have everything right here. It is just a little grimier, that is true. But if you love this area, there are, like up there for example, that's 252 South Street. You have 202 Broome here, I think, and a 135 Driggs. All new developments which have been made here, like in Lower East Side. They're a little further out because most of the buildings in here are either historically landmarked or the owner just doesn't want to sell them. So they're still here, and that's sort of what's kept the charm though, is that they haven't been able to just like pop up all these new developments, right? So it's kind of a good thing.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a bunch of bars, like there's a bunch of fantastic restaurants. They're charming, for sure. The whole area is charming. So also, this is the crime scene, as she was saying. I got hit with my motorcycle right there. I was coming up here. Someone came, I had the green light, and someone just pulled out in the middle of the red. Bow, hit that. And then I had to, once the ambulance and everything else came and got me, I had to pull my motorcycle in here, and they wouldn't let me park it in there. They're like, no, we don't do motorcycles. I was bleeding. The ambulance guys and the cops came up. They're like, let them put it there. So I put it there, but not cool, people, not cool. And it got towed and all that other stuff. But that was right there. And crazy thing is, she was in the Uber next to me. So when the guy hit me, just by coincidence, because we were going to the same location, she was in the Uber next to me and saw the whole thing happen.
It was awful. I'm traumatized. I have nightmares.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's okay.
But we still love you, Lower East Side. You are one of a kind. One of a kind, one oak. Yeah.